Got our guests with us, Amitabh Kant, the CEO of the Niti Aayog. Mr. Kant, many thanks for joining us. Also with us, Mr. Rajiv Pratap Rudy, a man who knows the aviation sector very, very closely. Mr. Rudy, thanks very much for joining us here on the program. Let me start by asking you, this has been something that many governments have attempted to do, hasn't gone through. Even the attempt made in 2018 didn't fly because there was the hesitation on the government's part not to offload 100%. Finally, this transaction has gone through the Tatas, taking back Air India post its nationalization. Mr. Rudy, what do you make of this?
One of the best decisions which the government has ever made for me as a part of the aviation industry, I would say this is a great decision. A difficult decision would be under a lot of scrutiny, undoubtedly. But any day when you have an organization which is in a debt of, it's a defined debt between 70,000 crores to 1 lakh crore, and which is making a loss of about 20 crores a month, I think any day the government, and it's the taxpayer who was losing money. In fact, it's a delayed decision. It's a decision which has been delayed, costing the taxpayers to extend this support through government guarantee, through the banks, and keep on. So it was the emotions of the nation which kept on bleeding the nation and the taxpayer. Once the government firmly decided that we cannot bleed the taxpayers anymore, we have to have this business of running an airline. Of course, the bidders, that was a process which had to be followed, because after all, the government did make an investment and tried to, the government had no choice. Government had to continue incurring losses because a dead airline or a closed airline does not evince any interest in the bidders. So the challenge for last 6 years at least, when the governments after 2014, when it started the thought process and it moved on, it has been bleeding. But the very fact that there was no option, and anyone who understands the aviation business knows that once you close the airline, to restart it is an impossible, then everything would have gone down the drain. Brilliantly, the government has worked on it. Difficult for the airline which is taking up Air India also, even in this situation with all this haircut and whatever situation, is very, very difficult for them to recoup, because the aviation industry across the world in last 2 years has made a loss of $201 billion. Even in that situation, if the company or an airline has come forward to bid for it, we must appreciate the gesture. It's an Indian company which has come. It's a company which has a long standing. It is a company which has gone across the world. So I think it's a phenomenal. It's a decision. It's a monumental decision taken by the government. Hats off to the Prime Minister. Hats off to the government. Courage shown. Good job done. And I'm happy that at least a government organization which was in the fray, which was under, the moment it came under competition and private airlines come, government always protects its airlines. But nonetheless, it was a loss-making enterprise. And having said that, this is a monumental decision, a positive decision.
And that is the tweet that's come in from Ratan Tata. Ratan Tata tweeting saying, "Welcome back, Air India." Back across to Mr. Rudy. Mr. Rudy, let's understand now what this is going to mean as far as being able to reclaim market share for a former behemoth like Air India is concerned, and the task cut out for the Tatas. And I also specifically want to talk about the employees, because, there is a lot of focus and attention on what happens to the employees. The government has made it clear that as part of the agreement, you cannot retrench employees for at least a year. Post that, if you wish to, there will have to be a VRS that the Tatas will have to give out. Current employee strength at over 12,000, 8,000 permanent, 4,000 contractual employees as far as Air India is concerned. Mr. Rudy, as you see things moving from here, the Tatas already have 2 airlines, Vistara and Air Asia. How do you believe this will move forward?
So you have asked 3 questions coming from the last, the employees. And of course, that is a government, and government is sensitive to the employees and the needs, and they have worked and they have set up the airlines and they have been there. And let's put them in a positive spirit that whatever is the due for the employees, the Dharmadhikari report, the dues along with whatever is the, what was supposed to happen with them, what was supposed to be given to them, and what is the dues now, the government has taken on its own. So the government has guaranteed that, look, Tatas are not going, we are not going to involve Tatas. We are going to take care of whatever dues are there, which is about 1,000 crore plus. So this takes care of part A. Part B, when you talk about the market share. Now you see, Air India, when it was there as a monopoly, it was a monopoly. Now, the moment there was privatization, which took place during Vajpayee's government, and prior to that, there was low-cost airlines which came during 2003, 2004. And prior to that, there was a privatization. The Air India was subjected to competition. Now, the best performing public sector enterprises is best tested when there is a competition. So when there is a competition, when this happened, and then the real worth came out, and it was found that actually Air India is not keeping up with the competition. So market share went down, private airlines came in, and they were all our airlines. They were all flying Indian passengers, and they were all giving good services. Some jet went down, Kingfisher went out, we had Deccan Airlines went out, but they were all in a competition mode. We have few airlines now, where there's Go, Vistara, Indigo, and so forth and so on. So there is a competition. Now, this airline called Air India had to survive the competition. It couldn't. It continued to make losses. Now, with the Tatas there, which already has a club of airlines which can be pooled together to create a market capacity. It's a professional management, because it's a very old saying, how you become a billionaire. How you become a millionaire? The answer is, ask a billionaire to set up an airline, he'll become a millionaire. So this is a very old saying, and I think Tata is a professionally managed company. It understands competition. There is competition. Air India in a competition with all the airlines, the benefit will accrue the common Indians, the passengers. The vision of the government is not Air India, not Tata's, and not X, Y, and Z. The vision of the government is to increase its footprint of aviation across India and internationally, have competition, and have the beneficiary is a common man in India. And that is the purpose of the government, and that is the purpose of the Prime Minister. So let's be very clear. This disinvestment is not for the government. This disinvestment is for the people of this country to have a competition, a good market, an expanding market, and more for that no airlines in particular can establish a monopoly. This is going to be, again, a challenge for all those who may have intended to establish a monopoly. Air India, vis-a-vis the new setup with Tata's, would create a market balance, which was very, very important. And I'm happy that the government did perceive that a monopoly was coming in the market, and this step is a far thought process, which possibly someone who is following would understand me.
Mr. Rudy, let me come back to you now, sir, and ask you about how you believe this is going to change the aviation landscape in the country. You, of course, alluded to the fact that, monopolies are not necessarily the best as far as consumer interest is concerned. But as we move forward now with the combined might of Vistara, AirAsia India, and now Air India, how do you see the competitive landscape changing?
So it would not be very easy for the Tatas to pick up the speed, because this is going to slow down their whole process. And it will not take less than 2 years for them to actually feel the real worth of Air India. Now, this period of time, this company has to sustain. And we all should pray and depend on the professional initiative of the Tatas to survive this challenge for next 2 years. Now, once that happens, the real market forces will come into play. We hear about Jet. I can tell you, when Jet was going, I actually was very upset, because it was the bank which was supposed to protect it, and it had an exposure. One of the leading banks in the country did not support it, and it went down in front of everyone's eyes. It was a 35 years, 30 years, which was doing exceptionally well. I somehow felt that it was not being addressed, because the airline was allowed to disintegrate, to just die out. And that was a sad day. And then when we saw that one more player is off, and that was a sad day for Indian industries. And that was something which actually affected the entire landscape of. And I do not know what is the status of Jet Airways, but to my knowledge and understanding, any airlines shutting down shop, never ever, whether it was Jet, whether it was Damania, whether it was Kingfisher, whether it's all gone. Now, when the story is so true that these are all gone, Tatas did come forward. They did take a bid. Actually, Tatas, I'm so happy that they have risked themselves by bidding for Air India. Now, there could be a criticism that they are only giving 2,000 crore, 2,300 crores. That's no. If I was there, I would have given them to anyone who said, if I have a belief, to give them free, boss. Run the company. Do not put losses on me. So I think now when you talk, I will give them 2 years' time. Tatas have a challenge to survive this game for another 2 years, because this will slow down their own process of growth, which was there. Now, with the losses which the whole airline industry has incurred in last 2 years, and of course, the constraints are there. We are not still flying international. There is a bubble. Will plan to bubble arrangement because the countries are not behaving, so we are not flying. Out of a target of 100%, 30% is gone because that was international. Out of 70% flight which operates, we also already have a restriction of 72%. I do not really know why the 72%, because COVID is out, all planes get full. So all these things have to be rationalized. We as policymakers, to see that a fair play is there for all. Now that the government is not there, the biggest allegation on the government was, government is protecting Air India. The employees of the Indian government, even Mr. Kant, Amitabh Kant has to fly Air India. The MPs have to fly Air India, and the people who are posted in X places have to fly Air India. And Air India has to be given this. And Air India's debts and dues of the petroleum companies can be put in abeyance for years together. That is gone. Now the government will not be answerable. So whoever performs, whoever gives the returns, whoever gives the best services, the people will decide whether I want to fly Vistara, I want to fly Go Airway, Go Air to fly Indigo. The people who decide, and this competition is good for the nation. So this is one step taken by the Prime Minister, which I think is a conviction. And this decision has not come out because it was a business decision. This decision has come out of conviction.
Right.